Alright guys, back with more Fist of the North Star. I just looked at the sales going on in PSN and there's nothing I need. So, whatever. Alright, we have 2 Star Orbs. What should I use them on? Let's do this. Which one? What do we got?
It's tricky to think about Laura and Kat help themselves here, but like if they wanted to I don't know. The show makes it seem like Vetus does all this talk, and then he does some gaslighting at tribal council, and that's what gets him where he is. And I think it's a very kind edit to probably more, which was like the women decided they wanted another woman out regardless.
Vetus does seem to make a very good impression on Monica and on Laura V, and then ultimately, he seems to, like, whatever work Aris had put in ahead of time, he does not undo that work with Tina. She seems very impressed with him. I feel like we can kind of talk about these votes with Kat.
Oh, fuck. Oh, well, I fucked up then. Damn it. I thought those went to those. Yeah, whatever.
I'll kill you! Splitting slide!
What am I going? Okay.
Let me have some fun.
Stone Mountain splitting slash.
Alright, we'll kill him with that one.
I
feel for
100 fist
Kat
rush.
as a person, and she's hilarious in her sadness, but she's like still like, oh, my heart goes out to you. The fact that she's like, I need the hug. Like, no one else was like as emotional going into the duel as she was.
Yeah. Mary, watching this back and knowing that Kat and Hayden are not going to work out, I think a little bit bad when Hayden is like, hey, think about our future. When's a better shot to win? Just think about it like long term. Think about the future.
But I'm no relationship expert, and these are real people, so I feel bad trying to like psychoanalyze their relationship, but also I think
Psychoanalyze them, Mary.
that's a natural thing to do when you're watching it. Cat's 23 when playing this game, Baby's 27. I don't know how long they had been dating before this show, but I don't think it was particularly long because I think they had met after he was on Big Brother. I think that if you are in a position where you feel like you were hoping you lasted the game longer, either to impress your boyfriend or to get a chance to play with them because you really needed that time together on Survivor, I think that's probably not a great sign for your relationship to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't want to put like malicious intent onto Hayden necessarily, and I mean, I think this gets even more awkward when you consider like the reunion and everything. But
It was so awkward.
it was so it's one of the cringiest moments. That and the David Murphy thing are two of the parts. I skipped it this time. I like pushed the +10. Like
I guess can we go in? You know, get into it here. It's so wild. Usually these reunion moments happen. Jeff asks an awkward question, but I feel like that Jeff asks like an innocuous question to Kat and Hayden, and she talks about how like she has to make arrangements to get on his level.
So she's like, he says, you know, oh, you made a bunch of jokes, or not jokes, he said some fun lines about worrying that you guys would break up and that you weren't able to merge. How are things going now? Are you guys still together? And she's like, yeah, we're still together. Red flag number one, they're still not living in the same place, and she says we're trying to get to that place, but I'm needing to make arrangements in order to get on his level. She kind of like gestures, and then he's like, what do you mean? She says, you know, there have been some changes, I'm a little top heavier now, and it's awkward. It's awkward because it's in public. It's clearly something that like probably no one is not advertised in public, right? In any part, because you know, who knows what conversations they've had, what decisions were made together, or just on Kat's part by herself, or what the reasoning is. But it's like an awkward thing to say, and it's just more awkward thing to think about, given that I'm pretty sure they break up pretty shortly after this.
Yeah.
As well.
And I think Hayden's kind of a private guy.
I get that, like, Hayden, I don't think is a bad guy, but I think that Hayden is probably someone who is thinking, let me stick this relationship out until the reunion so that we can all watch the show, still, like, it's a couple, it's fine, or whatever, and I'll deal with this privately, not in public. I don't think that Hayden, I can't imagine that Hayden was like, you need to get implants or something for me to love you. I don't think that happened. I'm sure, but there's clearly some insecurity there on Kat's part, and there's some feeling of that Kat
Hayden's 9
needed to make changes in whatever way in order to like impress Hayden. It's very awkward. It's sad. And I did some research into Kat today, and she seems to be doing well.
Yeah.
And she's happy, so that's good.
Yeah. Yes, she definitely seems like she is somebody who, definitely had some funny lines, but, she talked about her surgeries in Survivor, her non-cosmetic surgeries in Survivor One World. I definitely think that she did talk about, she has to have heart surgery. She talks about in her quarantine questionnaire with Alden Ross about how she does wish that she had played as an older person.
Yes. And I think that we've seen lots of people on Talking with D-Bird talking about playing when they were in their early 20s and how they are different people now.
Kisana told me everything I need to know.
Kat is going to be one and done on
We don't have much time.
Redemption Island.
You have to come back
when
to
she goes
Eden.
out of the game.
And in Hayden's sake, too, I don't think that he should have switched with Kat. He could have won that puzzle. I think that Hayden ends up going very far in this game and doing well, and I don't think the Cat would have.
What do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, two things that, like, I found hilarious is that, at the Redemption Island, though, Hayden was like, yep, our relationship is a lot stronger than this game. I love her no matter what, and all this other good stuff. And Jeff heard that, he was like, Bez, are you willing to flip? And he was like, never mind, I won't. And so I found that hilarious. And then Kat during the challenge being like, I can't look over there, that would be cheating. Jeff is like, this is Survivor, cheat.
She's high morals. Okay.
You know?
All right. So, anything else from the pre-merge of Survivor Blood versus Water?
They shouted out Cochrane again.
Yes. In the pre-merge, what did they say?
Yes, in this challenge, the one that Kat was there, saying that she had to build that final fire puzzle.
Yes.
One.
Oh, they
Just
got
anytime you mention Cochrane.
Well, this is coming right on the heels of Cochrane. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, we talked about the pre-merge here, and we're 2.5 hours into this one, so we might also be a little top-heavy on this podcast. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk through the second half of the season. We're going to answer your questions and get into our weekly survey and tell you about what's coming up next time as we get to the 13th best season of Survivor. Here, don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Support for this podcast comes from our friends over at Geico. Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. I bet it can be hard work. You know what? Easy bundling your policies with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing too, because you have so much to do around your home. The new Galong, where Aris, Tyson, and Jervis came in. First of all, AJ, I forgot how funny this was, where Aris, Tyson, and Jervis just ate all of the food that they had over at Galong.
It's not only that they ate all of the food, like, they did it openly in front of everybody, and it was like, you're welcome. Like, I ate all your food, this is what we're gonna do. Like, let's eat, let's all eat. So I think that was hilarious for Tyson and Aris. Like, that was funny.
Yes, it was embarrassing for Galong to have to sit there and suffer through that embarrassment.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. Like, these new people coming to your home and, like, you're just ransacked and all your food and stuff like that. Like, who are you? First of all, who are y'all? Why are y'all here? Get away. Stop eating my stuff. Also, something funny that happened on that drive was when Tyson and them first arrived, they just started telling them everything. Like, oh, how the votes went down. Oh, where the idol clue is. Like, where the idol was. They just, like,
oh, shit.
And keep it all within themselves, and I found that funny.
Yeah, including that they tell Tyson the clue to the hidden immunity idol. I think this is Hayden, Mary. I think this is one of the rare missteps in the game for Hayden.
Yeah, Hayden, and I think this is going to happen a couple times.
I was a load my health,
Tyson and
though.
him kind of getting a better idea from other people about where the idol clue is. But yeah, this is gonna lead Tyson to finding an idol before he even gets any of the clues, because he hears this from Nathan here, who's just like, yeah, John had this clue, and it was something like this. Like, why would you say what the clue was? It's horrible, but very funny. I think a lot of this just really comes down to the fact that Tyson and Jervis and Aris are really personable, and they're very friendly, and they're kind of treating it like oh haha, this is so much fun, we're just hanging out, let's just talk about what went down, we're very interested in what you have to say, which goes really far with those players. And I think this is also like the eating all the food thing. We attribute it a lot to this season, coconut families, whatever. But I think some of it has to do with the mentality of a returning player to say, look, they're not going to actually let us starve, so why don't we just eat whatever we want, especially if we're going to potentially merge soon. We've just swapped, there's probably not going to be that much longer before the merge. Let's go ahead and eat up all this stuff here before we get a merge piece.
Yeah, and I think the returning player knows that, and that's just like, oh, I'm hungry, but like, this is like a war of attrition, and a war of nutrition. Of that, if I am not feeding myself throughout this 39 days, I'm gonna have nothing left in the tank when it comes down to crunch time. And look at it works for Tyson. When does he win the immunities? Like on day 37 and 38 when he really needs it. So. This was, I think, a very smart strategy from Tyson throughout this season.
I also like how he was like, you have to coconut and be like, y'all can have the rest.
Yeah, a real share. And we see Tyson, starts this like running gag of apologizing for Aris for everything. Aris, they're like, oh guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that Aris is telling you how to run your camp. It's so embarrassing. And it starts off as a joke, but many a true thing said in jest, because then he's like starting to open the door of like, hey, we're gonna get rid of Aris, and we want you guys to be a part of it.
Yes. I think it's about the Tyson charm, that like, oh, Tyson, you little rascal, just being like funny and being devious and stuff like that. But I think Tyson did a really good job of being like, we need to plant seeds, and so that way they are willing to like be like, oh, Tyson wants to flip, and he's being 100%. So I think he does a really good job of planting seeds and making Dill feel good, because not only do they talk about, oh, sorry, Aris and stuff like that, they also say, Aris also has a family member in here, and we don't have family members. Like, let us be the family. And I think they're buying it, looking like a secret.
Yeah, that's a great point, Mary, because we get to where these three people that they happen to be swapped with all happen to have the same thing as Tyson and Jervis of, hey, we've all lost our loved one.
Yep. And like I said, frees them up to be more flexible in this game, to not be as locked into that loved ones, which ends up being more of a curse than a blessing in this game for people. It's also funny to contrast how Tyson was talking about Argus there with what happens in like the same episode with Laura and me trying to spread things and talk to people. Is like, the way that you don't just walk into someone like Colton or Laura where, oh, I heard so-and-so say this, I heard you, like, Tyson is doing it as a joke and saying out loud, like, oh, no, I'm not really putting a target on your back, I'm just talking about how annoying you are in public.
Oh, no, what?
In a
You
friendly,
didn't give me the opportunity.
just joshing.
Yeah. And what's funny here is
fuck off.
Tyson kind of like coachifies Aris, where that like he treats Aris the way that, I mean, he's had coach with him on every other season, does not have a coach here, and basically like turns Aris into sort of like the joke for the other players that are in the game the same way he does that for coach. Where I wonder like if coach was not in a tribe with Tyson in Tocantins and Heroes versus Villains, would we think of Coach the same way?
Yeah.
We would? Because you don't really think of him the exact same way in South Pacific when Tyson's not there.
No, but I think at least in Tocantins we're getting a very similar coach vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Heroes versus Villains like lead into the coach vibe.
This was a character that Coach wanted to portray.
Yes, and
Much
also
like Tyson had a character that he wanted to portrayal. He actively does less so or tweaks the portrayal in this season.
Yeah, and also like Coach's probably most iconic episode comes in Star Token long after Tyson is gone from the game. So
when he was alone at Inside, like,
Yeah.
like he didn't need anyone else.
Tyson was doing that. But it is like when you look at the big character people though, like if you look at Tony's changes throughout his seasons as well, like I think it's less so that they're like putting on airs the first time around. It's more so they have an idea of who their survivor persona is, and they see how that works out in respect to gameplay, and then they tweak the persona based on what's going to make them play better in the future.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about our Redemption Island duel, where we're going to have Monica versus Laura B versus John Cody. Hang on to the pole.
Oh, well,
Wait,
you
can
know,
I-
but
Yes.
sorry. Oh, there's
I thought about
the
six
Tina thing. Are you gonna talk about the Tina
Yeah,
thing?
it's the
Yeah,
Tina
AJ,
thing.
you take it.
Well, about Tina should be matched up with Vitas, or Katie should be matched up with Vitas.
There's
Which
also
one?
that, but this
Well,
is just
yeah.
another faux pas of Tina's here. AJ, you take it. Yeah.
I think it was like early in the morning. It was Tina, Katie, Vetus, and Monica all together. And Tina was like, the merger's happening soon. We're going to get back with ours. It's going to be us four. And Monica, you get to be fifth as a reward for being so loyal to us. And then we'll take out Jervis at final 6. So congratulations, Monica. She's going to get 5th place, and you'll be happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, we watched Survivor Australia back a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, Tina is kind of like this. Kind of works with like Roger and Elizabeth. Like, hey, Roger and Elizabeth, like we like you so much. Like, you'll be 4 and 5 instead of Amber and Jerry.
So this is kind of what I was talking about at the beginning, which I think is interesting when you compare this to Jervis, who does a really good job, I think, adapting to like the new form of play, where Jervis doesn't really seem like a fish out of water. But Tina, it could be wrong. I feel like in the evolution of strategy, you had said that this was like one of Tina's better games, and that she shows like a lot of strength in the game. She ends up, placing high and stuff. I could be wrong. Maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, but rewatching this, I'm like, ooh, I thought Tina did a good job, and Tina is like one of the weaker players this time around. And it's not so much like that she's letting the game speak past her. It's like she's actively making kind of not great moves, and this was one of them. It's just like don't tell someone, oh, we were gonna vote you out 6th and Jervis 5th, but now we've switched it. You've moved your way up to 5th place.
Yeah, I think strategically she doesn't do a great job here. I do think she shows a lot of spunk at the end of the season, and there's the moments like when she gets back into the game, she wins the Final 5 challenge or the Redemption Island challenge, and she gets back in. And even like Sierra is like, well, I can't believe how much energy Tina has. She's climbing trees, she's all over the place. So she is like, she has a lot of tenacity. From a strategic standpoint, like, no, and maybe she never really had that, but in terms of like her pluckiness, like when she's like goes out and saves the canister of rice, she is somebody who, will really like put her body on the line for being, somebody who's like kind of a slight person. She's willing to like give it her all out there, but she doesn't really have like the ability to. I think that if she doesn't like somebody, like she doesn't have necessarily like the amazing like social game and charm that somebody else a Kim Spradlin may end up having.
Right, yeah, she seems to kind of like the people she likes and not like the people she doesn't. It doesn't really change that much on that.
Yeah, and I think that with the people she doesn't really like, she doesn't like make too much of an effort to go there with them. And it seems like that for some reason, I feel like that Tina and Laura M don't love Monica in this season. I don't really know why Monica, like you would think that the three of them would get along. I think that Tina and Laura M get along pretty well throughout the season, and they don't seem to like Monica Coleman.
I got the similar vibe, and I did not understand it. I felt like the Mom Squad could have been like such a fun group of 3. But it really does feel like what you're saying. If Tina don't really care for you, she's not going to give you as much time to stay as she would the people that she does like.
Yeah,
and
that's
I think
like all my items.
with her downfall, I think part of it is the lack of attention she spends with Monica, like keeping Monica reeled in, including the statement that she just made to Monica. I think if she worked on Monica, she could have like moved that over and kept
Oh, did we do it?
her side, where Monica could have.
Oh, we did it.
Spoke
Wow.
the plan
Okay.
like, oh, Tyson and
That was
Jarvis,
close.
Tina, y'all need to watch out. They're coming for you and stuff.
There's another part of the fight on
Monica
Fox.
wanted to work with Tina from
Yeah.
like the jump. It seems like
Targa.
early on, Monica was like, "You and me, I got you. I'm gonna
Targa's
go
the
with
king.
you," and all this.
What
and
happened
Tina was
to
always like,
Nadai?
Oh, was
Terribly
he?
sorry,
Oh, he
but
was
he's
just
not here.
like faking.
What did you say?
Yeah.
Lord Nadai is already gone to Sphere City to stop the missile launch, my
"Oh
friend.
no,
Yeah.
really
What
trust
is the
Monica,"
point
and
of
it
all
doesn't
this?
really
Oh,
seem
my.
warranted.
You want to save that girl Yuria and stop the missiles, right? But I'm afraid Lord Nadai has other plans. Unlike you, he's looking to kill that girl. So I'm here to buy him some time. Don't you see you've played right into my master's hands?
It was a trap.
So, you better get going before you run out of time. Just think of your poor little Yuria, alone and helpless on her bed.
Assuming that's the end of the chapter, right? Yeah. Alright, so this should be the finale. Alright. Okay. So, recording blocking. I'd be surprised if it comes. Okay, like a drag and block recording? No, right? Okay. Oh shit, I have a lot of money. I didn't realize I had that much money. Alright, let's head to that save point and then we'll call it an episode. I think I'll still record a bit here. Like, normally I would probably end here, but because we are close to the end, I want to see if we can try to do it here. Because ideally we would finish the game here, and then I can start Life is Strange whenever I have time after this. And tomorrow afternoon. I think I'll probably have some time. Shit. Oh, that's right. This is probably the last time we're driving in the game. Alright. Let's go and save. And we will call it an episode. How many things are there? Alright, for now, thanks for watching.